All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to day two. It's Saturday, December 31st, and just give you an update where I'm at. So I think last clip I recorded, I was pulling this whole side apart. Got the stock transmission out. I couldn't get the axles to come out, so I had to just cut the clamps and pull the boots off. Not a big deal. Dropped it through the top, pulled the stock flex plate off for the auto, put the flywheel on, torqued all the bolts, used Loctite on them so they don't come loose. Changed the cover on the DSG because the seal was leaking. Got the DSG in. You can see it now. Motor mount bolts right up. Got my ground. It's a different starter. It's an O2E starter. That's the part number on the beginning. The other one is a O2M, I think, because it's two different flywheels. I think they have different teeth. So that's in. Starter's wired. For now, I'm gonna just leave the cooler like this and just put my 5 quarts in and start it up and make sure everything works before I install the trans cooler on it. Make sure it goes through the gears and stuff, and then I'll pull this cooler off and put the front on and pull the radiator and all that crap. The passenger side, driver's side axle's in. It bolts right up. It's the GTI one. I haven't done the passenger side yet. That's on the list. Bottom motor mount's on. You really need a different bottom motor mount because the pendulum doesn't line up quite right, but it does line up. I'll show you when I get down there. So basically I'm gonna put a funnel in where the filter goes, and I'm gonna put the drain plug in, and I'm gonna start adding 5 quarts, put the filter in, tighten the cover down, and get the axle on, put the wheels on, wire everything up, and then start it, make sure everything works, gets up to temperature, communicates. I gotta put the shifter cable in and the shifter in the car, because I still have the auto one here, so I gotta switch all that over. I gotta tap into all the wires up here, put everything back together, and then start it and see if it works. So just a little update where I'm at. So far everything's going pretty decent. It all bolts in and all that, so I'll give you an update in a little bit. All right, little update. A couple hours later, it's finally light out now. This is where I'm at. 5 quarts, liquid moly, 8100. In the transmission, it's taken forever to fill through the filter, so I pulled off the breather cap and put a funnel in that, and it filled up pretty quick, probably 10 minutes. So about 10 minutes, 5 quarts in there for now. I put the ground on the ground strap on the transmission, bolted the cooler, torqued the filter cover on, and now I'm just loosely working on wiring. Walk you through it again. This blue and black goes to your green and black on the DSG. Can high and can low. So orange and black and orange and brown. I cut them off the TCM harness. And as you can see, the 2 go to the transmission, the black and orange. Right there. And I also have a jumper in each of them, a black and a red, because the shifter needs can high and can low. So these are the 2. I got them running down and into the firewall, into the car, so they'll go into the shifter. So that's the 3 here. We're not hooking up K-line yet because we got to figure out, it's probably in this harness somewhere. But I got to do more research on that, so I just pretty much looped it and tucked it back in the harness. And the last one is our black and purple, which is our shift interlock, which goes on the 10-pin harness that was on top of the auto. And I can't remember which pin it was. I'm going to look in a second. I think it was pin 10 or pin 1. I think it was pin 1. I think it was this little wire. It's black and purple one. But I'll figure that out. And then I'll make that connection. Take this whole harness and just kind of tuck it in the side here. Tuck it away. And then I'm going to... I got to change the shifter cable still. Hook that up to the back of the transmission right there. And tuck some of the wires, and then we're probably going to test it. I still got to put the passenger side axle in, put the hubs on, and put the wheels back on and all that, but we can at least test that. So, it's a little update where I'm at. We'll be back. All right, well, it's almost 1 o'clock now. It's been probably 5 hours. I haven't updated in a while. But axles are in, wheels are on, new shifter's in. I haven't put this button on yet. It's just sitting over here, but this is all wired up. Center console's back together, fluid's in, level is set. I haven't done the clutch adaptation yet. I'm not sure. It might be good where it's at. Just want to see. We're going to start it up here and see if it moves. Boost pipe's back on, maps plugged in, mass airflow's plugged in. So one of the things I had said was the wiring for the multifunction selector on top of the auto. I said you go to pin 10, but it's actually pin 2. So when I had to unpin 10, it wouldn't start because it had no interlock signal. So I had to go back, relook at the video, and realize I said pin 10 instead of pin 2, but now it starts. So here we go. Of course, all my lights are on, but wheels are on, they're torqued, wheel bearings are torqued. I'm gonna take the emergency brake off and see if this moves under its own power. So I just gotta pull up on this. It is moving. About to run the curb over. Into drive. All right, I'm gonna go for a little test drive and I'll be back and I'll update you. So far it's working good. All right, well, here you go. I got 53 miles on the transmission so far. Currently driving. So far, I have check engine light on. That is because I have a vacuum leak for one of the hoses I didn't connect yet. It does have a code for the transmission not communicating with the ECU because it's missing the signal. But it's not, the code doesn't start with a P, so I don't believe it'll actually trip a light as far as emissions goes and like getting inspected. But I got the interior back together. The original shifter does work. I had to change the shift tower though. It's different on the DSG. But it shows up on the dash. I can put it into manual and shift it. Shifts very fast now. It's like literally instant. Paddles work. Once I get on the flat here, I'll give you a little pull. Regular drive mode. Everything works. Sport mode. It seems like Sport doesn't really like to shift for some reason. I don't know, maybe I'm just not used to the way it shifts. I think it has a lot higher of a shift point than the auto did. I think the auto is set to shift at like 6,000. I think this one's a lot higher, so that might be it. I don't like revving it out, but I'll put it in manual and I'll slow down here and I'll do like a 1, 2, 3 so you can hear it. The upshifts are literally instant. Ready? Listen to this. pops like crazy now. Which I'll slow down here. I'll just do a little 1-2. There we go. It's so fast on the shifts, it's insane. And it doesn't, before it would like completely cut power on the shifts and you would just feel it like bog and like get back into it. Now it's just instant. It's so nice. So I still got some more work to do on it. I'm headed to AutoZone right now. The cooler's not hooked up, so it's just running. It's basically just not cooled right now, so that's why I'm trying not to beat on it too much. But I'm going to AutoZone to get some brake clean, some methanol because I'm out of methanol. I got to pull the bumper off and change over to the cooler for the front end and all that stuff. So just wanted to give a little update where it's at. 55 miles on it so far. All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back. This is kind of a continuation of the swap video. It's about a day later. Pretty much everything's done minus the coating for the engine. You can see I got to check engine light. It's for lost communication with TCM, which we'll get that fixed. But everything seems to be working pretty good so far with the swap. Minus the takeoff is a little rough. Shifts are great now. Nice and quick. This is still the stock tune on the DSG. I'm waiting for my VCDS to come in so I can do the clutch adaptation, and once that's done, then I'll be able to kind of beat on it a little more. I have the front mount Bartec DSG cooler on this. I didn't want to tap into the cooling system, so I put the Bartec cooler on it. It's mounted up front by the radiator. Seems to be running pretty good. I mean, it is only 32 degrees out, but my average temps while driving and slightly beating on it haven't really got above 40 Celsius, which is really good. Nice and cool. So hopefully we'll be able to extend the life of these clutches and transmission. I would say all in all, I'll give you the quick breakdown of the price. I got the swap from a guy off Facebook Marketplace. It was from, I think it was from an Audi or a Mark 6 GTI, I can't remember. But it's a dq250, it's a 6-speed DSG. The parts needed, all the bell housing bolts worked, which you're supposed to change them, but I didn't. I reused them. You need the dual mass flywheel. You need the lower motor mount because it has a different bracket on it. I just put some spacers in it. You can reuse the stock one. You need the GTI axles because they use different axles on this. They bolt right up though, same length and everything. You also need the wiring harness from the GTI. Not the whole harness, you just need the plug for the transmission, the 20-pin DSG plug. And, you know, then some various wiring. You need the shift cable is different. The shifter is different in the actual car. So you need the shift tower from the GTI as well. You need to do a little wiring in the car. It's just 2 wires you got to add in, which that's in the video. So 600 I got for the swap. Then I had to get 6 quarts of DSG fluid, new filter, O-rings, crush washers. That was another 220 I think for liquid moly. And then you also need realistically, if you're sticking with the stock DSG cooler, you need the coolant lines from a GTI. To the one that goes to the water pump has a split off in it for the DSG cooler. And other than that, it pretty much just bolts in. You need the pilot bearing as well, because the auto doesn't have a pilot bearing. That just gets tapped into the crankshaft. And the starter is different as well, so you need that. But other than that, everything bolts right in. As far as coating goes, I tried changing the coating over to a DSG with OBD11, but it keeps failing, so I'm hoping that using VCDS will work on that. I'm gonna just turn around here, I'm on the highway. Little shifts on the takeoff. Nice and smooth. The only thing I'm having a problem with is like the actual start off from a dead stop. Reverse was doing it, and then reverse snapped out of it, and now drive's kind of like, you can feel the clutch engage and then kind of let off, and if you touch the gas before it's engaged, it kind of bucks a little, like kind of like someone learning to drive manual. But supposedly the adaptation will fix that. But other than that, it's doing pretty good. I got 160 miles on the swap so far. That's the only hiccup I've had. I'll do a little highway pull in a second here. Probably like a 40 to 80, so you can hear the shifting. We'll give that some time. The other thing I noticed, I'm not sure if the DSGs come factory with an LSD or not, but I noticed with the automatic, every time I would floor it first, second, sometimes even third, it would just open wheel, like either left or right wheel, and it just starts spinning like crazy, and it was really annoying. I noticed this one doesn't seem to do that. It spins, but it doesn't like pull you to the side of the road. The other one would like almost pull you off the road. This one just pulls in a straight line now. So I'm not sure if they come with an LSD from the factory, or I don't know, maybe it's all in my head, but I know the other one was very hard to control when you'd start spinning. This one just feels like it's pulling you straight, so I'm hoping that this might have an LSD. If not, that'll be one of the upgrades coming in the future. Also, when I get it tuned, I'm going to get launch control on the transmission. Hopefully it won't break anything by doing that, but that is an option with the DSG tune. Probably set it for like 32 or 3400 RPM. Mileage is already getting better. I've been averaging 23.4. Before the auto, I averaged 22, so that's pretty cool. But just on the open highway right now, so I'm gonna slow down here, put it in manual, and I'll do a little pull as long as there's no cars. So I'll put it in manual. Listen to these downshifts. High beams on. I'll turn off traction control for this. I'll slow down. I'll do a 40 to 80. Alright, here we go. Ready? Hold on. I guess I'll do like a 40 to 60. Kind of hard to do it with one hand. If this car moves, I'll do another one. I didn't really rev it out either. Slow down to like 20 or 30. I'll do a second gear roll. Alright, here we go. I'll roll in a second. As much as I'm going to do right now. Did spin a little bit, but I have
just winter tires on, so I don't want to go too fast. But yeah, that's how it shifts. You can hear it shifts pretty nicely for being the stock tune on the transmission. It shifts great. Kind of cracks in between the shifts, which I like. So that's going to be it for the swap video. This might be a separate one, I'm not sure, but that's pretty much going to be it. I'll update here and there if I have any problems. I'll do a video when I do the tune on the transmission before and after. And yeah, that's going to be it for this video. So catch you guys in the next one. Peace.